Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, Isaac Cotto.
Right. Back in the building.
We back in the building with another...
some technical difficulties last 2 weeks.
We was gone for 2 weeks, but we back. We're going to be consistent. We're going to be dropping this content for you guys.
Yes,
so stick
sir.
with us. But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel so you're notified when we make more videos like this. And as always, kick us off. What we talking about?
Got a lot of things going on. We got Uncle Donnie tearing down the government. But also, all of a sudden, I don't know about you, it looks like a plane's crashing every 30, 40 minutes.
It feels like that.
But we happen to get this video. I think everybody's seen it, but we're gonna react to it. This Delta flight that did the flip
in Toronto.
In Toronto. Let's check out this video.
Might have 3 it might take a minute. Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh no!
Like he knew it right away.
Tower, you're seeing this airplane just crashing too freaked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yo.
And then to think like I don't know.
So what ends up happening? So being that you do personal injury, right, at your law firm.
Sure.
So in that situation, you got 76 passengers that were on board. What ends up happening in that situation?
Well, you got any personal injury case, for someone to have a claim, you have to show damages. At the end of the day, you just have to show what you've been damaged. So all 80 passengers survived. I think there was 18 that were taken to hospitals. They clearly have claims because they've gone to the hospital. But even because it's such a traumatic event, right? Like to go through a plane crash and survive the post-traumatic stress, that's a legit claim. So even if you physically made it out, like walked out the plane, no problem, you still would have a good claim for like all the stress related stuff that you're going to have to deal with. Now it would be on that client or that person to start seeking that treatment to prove that they do have these residual effects from the plane crash.
So is that something that like when you take the case, and they go to treatment and they do whatever they go through everything that they need to go through, like your normal injury, auto accident cases, right? When you guys start communicating with the insurance company, what does that look like? How does for a case like that, is that something where you guys are negotiating?
No, typically what happens, so the person will do their treatment for whatever amount of time it takes for them to have their treatment. Once they're done treating, we put together what's called a demand package. So you get, if you're going to ask money for the insurance company, you have to show the proof of the harm that person has suffered. So the demand package will typically include all the medical evidence along with your demand letter saying, hey, because of the actions of your client, my client suffered these injuries. This is what happened. These are the injuries that he suffered, the trauma that he suffered, and here is all the evidence of those injuries.
How do you prove trauma, though? I know, obviously we saw fire and we saw,
again,
what I mean?
If they physically got hurt, and then we're talking about when I was saying if they were able to walk out the plane, they still would have a claim for the mental damage for surviving a plane crash. But what they would have to do, you would have to send them to a therapist, send them to a psychologist, and kind of get that evidence to show like, hey, these people are really affected mentally because of the accident,
But what dictates the amount of a settlement? Obviously their insurance, the amount that they cover, is that
that's one of the factors, right? So say Delta Airlines had, I don't know, $50,000 worth of coverage per passenger. They're going to be in the millions as far as coverage, but if you have to have surgery, back surgery, the plane landed, you broke all your vertebrae, and you got $400,000 worth of medical bills, the most they'll give you is $50,000, right, on the claim. But on those type of cases, you would actually file a lawsuit and say, no, we want way more than that, right? Because they're such a huge company.
Okay.
But typically, they're going to have insurance coverage in the millions of dollars to cover all those kind of claims. So if any of those people that's severely injured ends up racking up $300,000-$400,000 worth of bills, plus the mental trauma of being in a plane crash, you can, they might cut a check for $1 million, no problem. You know what I mean?
We have a picture too. It's that I wanted you to post. So you're gonna have to pause that real quick. Okay, stop it. A second. And then in that picture is the one at the top. So read that.
So it says, let me get the mic. Delta has offered to pay all passengers on board the horror flight to Toronto, which crashed and flipped upside down, $30,000 as a gesture of goodwill. A total of 76 passengers and 4 crewmen were traveling. Okay, lost control. Okay, just talks about what happened in the plane crash.
So what did it say? 76 passengers?
Yeah, 76 and 4 crew members, a total of 80.
80. Okay. So I guess the question is now, if they take that $30,000,
they have to be very careful.
What does that do to your client now?
Well, it's like anything. You've been in an auto accident. Sometimes you'll get, someone hit me, and your insurance will contact me and say, Isaac, we'll send you a $500 check, and we'll fix your car. If you take that check and cash it, the small fine print will say you release, ABC Insurance Company of all liability regarding this accident. So
what do those folks need to make sure of?
They have to make sure the fine print says, I think we kept reading another article that said it was just a gesture of goodwill. There's no strings attached, and they still will retain all their rights to seek like any legal remedy.
Now, the fact that they said that, do they still, if it was your client, would you still recommend give me that in writing, even though they made it public?
No. It has to be in writing. It specifically has to be in writing. I would tell the client, you can take the check, don't cash it. Just don't cash it until we get it in writing that says this does not release Delta of any liability.
But why does it have to be in writing to you if they made it public that this is going to, how does that?
Everything should be memorialized. You can't, it's hard to deny, who from who. I don't know where that source was from, or, you know what I mean? Versus an official letter from Delta. You can't deny it. You can't deny that,
right.
Like that's something you can take to court.
Okay.
And so, but you definitely tell the client, take the check, don't cash it until we get something in writing that says it doesn't release Delta from liability.
Got it.
If that's the case, then cool. But anybody that's on that plane to survive has a claim.
Do you think that $30,000 is that the correct amount, for a settlement?
Like I said, I would send my if they came out without a scratch, they would be going to all the therapists in the world and. Send them every therapist, psychological exams, overnight studies, stuff.
So
like
if that was an actual if that was a case that you took, they came to you, and what would be the amount that you would be expecting to get for your client?
Everything depends on the amount of harm that we show. So everything would depend on what kind of, what
injuries they suffered.
Did they go to a therapist for one time, or they had to go to a therapist for 6 times and actually got on medication because they're so affected?
So let's say
that's a whole different ballgame.
So let's say, like you said earlier, they messed up their back. They needed to get back surgery. Now they're on a wheelchair for God knows how long.
You're past $1 million on if it's a few $100,000 in
and if they say, yo, we'll give you $100,000, would you take that?
No. That if you take them, if they were to deny, like if they don't give you the right check and you take them to court, they're going to end up paying millions of dollars.
Okay.
Right? Because the jury is going to be upset to say, like, you really
look at this person.
You really didn't want to settle for $1.2 million, and now we're here in court. Now we're gonna hit you over the head. Here's a $10 million judgment.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So they're gonna settle.
So in other words, you the lawyer, you're like, don't settle. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't settle. I rather don't do it.
And your demand should show like, oh, you're gonna cut a big check. If not, we'll just take it to trial.
And you're going to win that. Man.
Yes. For sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a big.
Whoever those lawyers are that's getting those cases.
The people who got hurt for real. Yeah. I think there was a minor child that was really seriously hurt. Oh, that's a few $1,000,000. They're gonna get paid.
They gonna get paid, and the lawyer gonna get paid.
They're gonna get paid for sure.
Damn.
They're gonna get paid.
It's a sad situation, but at the end of the day, hey, when you're a multi-billion-dollar company, that's what happens.
I don't know. A commercial airline crash. The fact that no one died.
You should have never, ever. You should have I saw pilots commenting, saying he should have wrapped around again, and try to make the descension. No. Go around, even if it takes another 10, 15 minutes, go around and redo
the landing.
The landing.
Oh, okay.
And come down slower, because if there was a lot of wind in that moment, you shouldn't have attempted a landing. They said he could have easily went around and then come back and try it again. Because I've had that happen I've been on flights where it's like, oh yeah, we're about 5 minutes out, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, I'm like, why are we doing circles here? And then the captain is like, yeah, we just had to make another round. There's another plane landing before us.
Yeah,
so we gotta. So then that's what he should have did if he realized weather is not very good right now. It goes
to show you Delta's going to be on the hook for a good amount.
Man.
Well, not Delta per se, but the insurance company, they're going to be cutting some checks.
Damn.
Yep. So big money. Yeah. Well, thank God no one died.
Nobody died. That's
a
miracle,
that's the main
bro.
thing. So. All right, let us know what y'all think. We appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. We see y'all soon.
Peace.